Athena 11S, Centaur 10S and Veloce 10S triple crankset drivetrains 2013. This video illustrates the aspects where particular care is needed in the installation of Athena, Centaur and Veloce triple chainring cranksets. In detail, we'll be looking at frame compatibility for the front derailleur, installing triple cranksets, installing the left-hand ergo power lever and adjusting and using the front derailleur. Frame compatibility. On frames with a 35mm diameter seat tube, the seat tube itself must be recessed near the upper part of the derailleur cage. See the 2013 technical manual for the detailed specifications of the recess and of the space requirements for frames in the vicinity of the derailleur cage. Triple crankset installation. In the package, a 3mm shim is fitted on the right-hand crank. Remove the shim and keep in a safe place. To install the triple crankset correctly, use the 3mm shim on the left-hand side of the bottom bracket axle. To ensure that the pedals are symmetrically aligned with the bottom bracket. Once the bottom bracket cups are installed, fit the crankset with the right-hand crank in the bottom bracket. After fitting the spring and seal on the spindle, fit the shim before fitting the crank. Installing components. Before feeding the cable into the ergo power lever, ensure that the mechanism is in the 0 position. Press lever 3 several times and, if the control set has still not been fitted, check on the handlebar mounting side that the plate visible under the washer is in the position indicated. Install the rear and front derailleur, the chain and the ergo power levers. If the ergo power levers are already fitted onto the handlebar, lift the ergo power lever hood and check that the ratchet is at the end of its travel, as shown in the image. Install the brakes with the relevant cables and housings. Fit the rear derailleur cable and housings, adjusting the end stops. Fit the front derailleur cable and housings without fastening the cable. Adjusting the front derailleur. Place the chain on the largest sprocket. And on the smallest chainring of the crankset. Check that the outer limit screw is not against the corresponding surface. Adjust the inner limit screw so that the distance between the inner plate of the cage and the chain is approximately 0.5 millimeters. Attach the inner cable and set the cable tension so that the position set previously is not altered. From this position, the front derailleur should lift the chain onto the middle chainring after 3 clicks of lever 2 on the left-hand ergo power, plus the overrun distance. The overrun distance is non-adjustable as it is determined by a pin on the ergo power lever itself. If the chain does not lift onto the chainring correctly, correct the cable tension. Use lever 2 on the left-hand ergo power to lift the chain onto the largest chainring. Now adjust the overrun distance. Tighten the end stop screw fully, then unscrew by approximately 1 turn to set the correct overrun distance. Increase the overrun distance if the chain lifts from the intermediate chainring to the largest chainring with difficulty, and reduce the overrun distance if the chain continues beyond the largest chainring. Using the front derailleur. It has been decided to use power shift controls to prevent the risk of dropping unintentionally from the biggest chainring to the smallest chainring. Downshifting is performed with 1 click of lever 3. When the chain is on the first sprocket and on the inner or middle chainrings of the crankset, it is normal for the chain to rub against the outer cage plate of the front derailleur. The cyclist may adjust the position of the cage with 1 click of lever 2 to eliminate chain rubbing. When the chain is lifted by the front derailleur onto the larger chainring, whether 52 or 50, the chain will not rub against the cage. There is an indent near the center of the outer cage plate of the front derailleur to facilitate downward chain derailing when using a cassette where the largest sprocket has 29 teeth. When the chain is on the outer chainring and on the first sprocket, it is normal for the chain to rub against this indent when backpedaling.